قرآني نبض حياتي، قرآني طهر ذاتي، قرآني عصمة أمري.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today our third session. Now we will pop we will revise our third unit, unit number 3, polymers. In that we will see all the important FAQs and LAQs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So I think you people are not having any doubts in the previous chapter, because chapter is also very simple and whatever points are there I have clearly explained. If again you people are having any problem, you can message me or WhatsApp, then definitely I will give you the answer. Today we are going for the unit number 3, engineering materials. Engineering materials, or simply we are calling it as a polymer. So we'll see what is the first meaning. Generally, some questions will come from the definition part for FAQ for 2 marks. So all definitions are very very important. So we will see first of all the definition of polymer. What is the meaning of polymer? Actually, this polymer word is came from the two different words, which means first of all poly. That word is divided into two parts, poly and meros. So poly means many and meros means units. Okay. Polymers are micromolecules of high molecular masses built up by the linking together of a large number of small molecules. We are calling it as a polymers. In that whatever small units we are using, that small unit is called as monomer. Or exact definition is small molecules which combine with each other to form polymer molecules are termed as monomers. Definition is clear. Small molecules which combine with each other to form polymer molecules are termed as monomers. For example, in polyethylene, in polyethylene, ethylene is a monomer, and when ethylene molecule is linking together and they are forming a long chain compound, we are calling it as a polyethylene, and that polyethylene is nothing but one type of polymer. It is a one type of polymer. Now next we are going for the polymerization. What is the meaning of polymerization, or what is the definition of it? See, for the formation of polymers we are going for some particular reaction. It is the process of linking together of monomers to form polymer is called polymerization. What is the definition is there? Again I will repeat. It is the process it is a process of linking together of monomers to form polymers. The next definition, depending on the number of polymers are attached to one another, we are classifying our polymers into two types. We are classifying our polymers into two types. First one we are calling it as a oligopolymers, and next we are calling it as a high polymers. What is the meaning of oligopolymers? When the degree of polymerization is less than 600. The polymer whose degree of polymerization is less than 600, we are calling it as a oligopolymer. We are calling it as a oligopolymer. Next, what is the meaning of high polymers? The polymers whose degree of polymerization is more than 600, we are calling it as a high polymer. If you'll see the polymer which is having low degree of polymerization, that will not possess engineering properties. That will not possess engineering properties. That is the reason these polymers generally they are not having any uses in the engineering chemistry. But higher polymers they are having engineering properties. That is the reason they are widely used. They are widely used. Functionality of monomer. What is the meaning of functionality? For a substance to act as a monomer, it is compulsory that it should have at least two reactive sites. If in any monomer minimum two reactive sites are there, then and then only we are calling it as a monomer. And whatever bonding sites or reactive sites are there, that is nothing but we are calling it as a functionality. Suppose in our monomer two reactive sites are there, we are calling it as a bifunctional. If three reactive sites are there, we are calling it as a trifunctional. And how many reactive sites will be increases depending on that, so we are calling it as a tri-polyfunctional monomer. And every time it is not possible that each and every monomer has some functional groups. Sometimes our double bond and triple bond is also acting as double bond and triple bond is acting as our functional group or functionality. Okay, today we are just seeing the short questions first of all, then we will go for the long answers. So I'm giving you definitions of functionality, bifunctional polymers, trifunctional polymers, and polyfunctional polymers. So our this part is over. Now next, classification of polymer. From this part again you will get some short answers. FAQs will be asked from this side. So next, so many questions will be there. Sometimes they will ask define the homopolymers and copolymers. Sometimes they will ask what is the difference between a tactic and isotactic polymer. So here definitions are given, very simple classification and simple definitions with examples I have written. Origin, depending on the origin. Actually, there are total seven criteria are there. Based on that one, we are classifying our polymers. First of all, based on the origin, from where they are coming. So, the first one is the natural and synthetic. If directly getting from the nature, we are calling it as a natural polymers. And if we are getting from the or we are synthesizing in lab, we are calling it as a synthetic or man-made polymer. Then depending on the composition, it is divided into or it is classified into two types. First one is the homopolymer and second one is the copolymer. Homopolymer, in that whatever monomer is there, it is identical, means same monomer is repeating number of times. In copolymers, different monomers are there. For example, starting you can write down X X X X X, and examples are PVC, polyethylene. And in copolymer, XY type of composition will be there, and examples are butylite and Glina F. This is the second type. Now we are going for the third. Depending on the mechanism of polymerization, again two types are there: addition and condensation. We'll see this one in detail afterwards. Depending on the heat treatment, again it is classified into two types: thermoplastic and thermosetting. So depending on the heat treatment, thermoplastic means if we are heating that type of plastic, it will soft, and if we are cooling it, it will be hardened one. So that is the reason we are calling it as a thermoplastic, and the example is polyvinyl chloride. Thermoplastic, soften on heating and stiff on cooling. Then thermosetting, there are no effect of heat. Next type of classification depend on the structure: linear, branch, cross-linked. Then depending on the tacticity, arrangement of the functional group: isotactic, syntactic, atactic. Depending on the types of atom present: organic polymer, inorganic polymer. So here all the definitions with examples how the structure will be seen, it is clear. Okay. Now we are going for the first LAQ. In that LAQ, most of the time they will ask mechanism of polymerization. In that they will ask, write down the mechanism of free radical addition polymerization. This is the first LAQ. Most of the time this question will ask, explain or write down the free radical chain polymerization by taking the example of ethylene, or sometimes they will ask for the genre. So now we'll see, the reactions are very simple from here. Free radical chain polymerization. Aman, voice is clear? So now we are going for the next LAQ. That is the first LAQ from the chapter. They will ask you, explain the free radical chain polymerization. Generally, free radical chain polymerization will be completed in three different steps. For performing the free radical chain polymerization, we require initiator. This reaction will be completed by the formation of free radical. That is the reason we are calling it as a free radical chain polymerization. In that, three different steps are there. First one is the initiation, second one is the propagation, and third one is the termination. Name itself indicates what is going on in the reaction. generally in most of the free radical chain polymerization we are using initiators. Which type of initiators we are using? Sometimes we are using the iodine, sometimes we are using the hydrogen peroxide, sometimes we are using the benzoyl peroxide. These type of initiators we are using. What is the use of initiator? It is starting the reaction. First of all, our initiator is converted into the free radical form. For example, here I have taken the iodine molecule. Homolytic friction will be there. What is the meaning of homolytic friction? Homolytic friction means our bond will be breakdown in the two equal parts or two similar parts. Every time I told you, whenever bond will be there, it will contain two electrons. One bond means two electrons. When the similar division or equal division will be there or homolytic friction will be there, the two electrons will be divided into the equal. Means one atom will contain one electron and another electron will be with the second atom. That is the reason we are having here 2I and this dot is representing electron. If this type of structure we are seeing, we are calling it as a free radical iodine. Free radical iodine. In hydrogen peroxide also same thing will be there, and in benzoyl peroxide also same thing will be there. But in most of the cases, for our simplification, I am using iodine. Okay, I am using only iodine. So what will happen when iodine initiator is there? I am taking a monomer. Now from here, our reaction will be started. So now I am writing initiation. So what I have written, iodine, my initiator is there. This is the first line. First of all, I will write down this initiator. It will be breakdown under the heat and it will be converted into the free radical. And whatever free radical is there, it is coming in contact with the monomer. Any type of monomer you have to take, but you have to keep in mind that monomer that should contain at least two reactive sites. Two reactive sites are there. See here, double bonds are there. If this double bond will be breakdown, this carbon and this carbon, they are acting as a reactive site. So how many reactive sites are there? Two reactive sites are there. That is the reason this monomer, this compound or this molecule is acting as monomer. So what will happen? This iodine is reacting on this carbon. This bond will be breakdown, and this electron and this electron. This carbon having one electron, this carbon having the one electron. So this iodine will combine with this one, and we will get ICH2CH dot X. Means this is the monomer free radical. See this reaction I have explained two times in your class. So if you people are having any doubt regarding this, you just go and see my previous video. In that, while writing I have explained everything. Now only revision is going on, so I am not writing. If you are having any doubt, ask me. Okay. If you are having any doubt, you just ask me. So first step is over. Here we are getting the monomer free radical. Our reaction is started. So when this free radical monomer is combining with the another monomer, the second step will be started, and that step we are calling it as a propagation. What will happen? The monomer free radical reacts with a number of monomers rapidly, and they will form a long chain. They will form a long chain. That is the reason we are calling it as a propagation. We are calling it as a propagation. Okay. Just after completion, I will give the answers, Aman. Okay. Just now I see your message. Just wait. So propagation will be there. In propagation, whatever product of the first reaction or first step, that is, this is monomer free radical is there, it will combine with the another monomer and the chain will be formed. What will happen? This bond will be break down homolytically. Okay, and this electron will combine and this new bond will be formed. This is our new bond, and then again we are getting a chain like structure, and this chain will be continuous. That is the reason we are calling it as a growing chain. If you will add one by one, you are getting the one by one long chain is growing, or one by one monomer is attaching to your polymeric chain. But I don't want to waste my time. Directly I will take n number of molecules. N number of monomers I am taking. Same monomer I am taking. See my here. I have not changed my monomer. So I am taking the same monomers. So what will happen? Then this unit will be repeated n times. For our simplification, I will write down this type of molecule and I will call this one as a leaving polymer, because this reaction will be continuous till how many number of monomers I will be add. That is the reason we are calling it as a leaving polymer. Then afterwards, the last step, very simple step, we are calling it as a termination. To stop the chain growth, to stop the chain growth, we are going for the termination. So in termination, we are having two different methods. Or first one we are calling it as a coupling, and second one we are calling it as a disproportion. Coupling and disproportion. So we'll see one by one. Termination by coupling, and next one is the termination by disproportion. So now first one, termination by coupling. Very simple. In coupling it is very simple. No need to concentrate in on any other thing. What will happen? You have to take two living polymers and attach together. That's it. See here. Here I am having one living polymer, and here I am having the second living polymer. See in notes this N is not there, so just to include this N. By mistake I forgot to write down. Okay, you have to write down this N. So this is first living polymer is there, and this is the second living polymer. What I have did to, for my simplification, I have written the first molecule as it is, but I have written the second molecule as a mirror image of the first one for my sake only, for our understanding only. So what will happen? This electron and this electron will be there. They will combine and they will form a new bond, and they will form a long polymeric chain or long polymer. Okay, this new bond will be formed. CH and CH. In between two CH, new bond will be formed. And further, we are not having any free radicals or any positive or negative charge. So further reactions will not be possible. That is the reason we are calling it as a dead polymer. We are calling it as a dead polymer. Then next one is a termination by disproportion. It is also very simple. Yes, Zaman, if you write down in the mirror image form, then it is easy for you. It is easy for understanding also. If you will not write down now, then in exam maybe you are facing some problem that how many items I have written. Okay, so now the last part of this reaction is the termination by disproportion. In termination by disproportion, you have to take the two living polymers, same two living polymers we are taking here. But what will happen? Whatever the CH2 molecule is there, and here CH2 is there, from there one hydrogen will be removed from first two and it will goes to the second. Understand what I am telling? Previously what will happen? this electron will be combined and they will form a new bond. But now, here what will happen? This proportion we are telling now. So one hydrogen will be replaced from the first molecule and it will be accepted by the second one. It will be accepted by the second one. So what will happen? I will get a new type of molecule. See here, due to the removal of one hydrogen, here one electron and here one electron will be there. See upper diagram, upper steps. This one H2, out of this CH2, one hydrogen is removing from here and it is going to here. So what will happen here again? One electron will be there. So this electron and this electron will combine and here we are getting the double bond. Here we are getting the double bond and here at the place of CH and this electron, this hydrogen is also coming with the electron because here also homolytic fission will be there. So that is the reason at the place of CH only we will get CH2. See here, final reaction. Now understand, here also we are not having any electron, any charges. That is the reason we are calling it as a dead polymer. And don't worry, ma, don't bother that it's very lengthy. How can we remember? It's very hard. No, it's not hard. It's very simple. If you'll practice 4 to 5 times only, you will write down very easily. Some corrections are there in notes, so you have to go for it. Some corrections are there, okay? Only I forgot to write down N. Now, next and the last part, at the place of this X, whatever monomer is there, in that X is there now, at the place of X, you can replace with any atom. Maybe it's a halogen, maybe it is a hydrogen, maybe any functional group will be there. And if you want to practice, you have to take ethylene and practice it. You have to take propylene, practice butylene, and you have to practice it. That is your fish. Till here it's clear for everyone, or any doubt? Some changes are there simultaneously. I'm telling you, you have to do that changes now. Here again, I have taken the example of ethylene, and same thing, same reactions are there. At the place of X only, I'm using the H. See here, at the place of X, I have taken H. This is very simple, ma. Only your work is that you have to practice. Yeah, examples are given in the notes, Zaman. Last time you are absent. First of all, you see that video. Afterwards, you see this one. Definitely, it will be clear for you. Afterwards, also, if you are having any problem, then ask me. So many examples are there. Last time also, I told you while explaining that you have to replace that X with anyone and practice at home. If students have practiced, if anyone practice it, they will understand very clearly. Same thing will be there. Initiation, iodine. I'm taking the ethylene molecule, same type of monomer I will get. That is, I'm calling it as a ethylene free radical. Then propagation will be there. I will take number of ethylene molecules and living polymer will be formed. When two living polymers are coming together and by coupling, I will get a dead polymer. And then I will go for the disproportion. Again, we are having the another type of molecule. And one thing remember, ma, in notes, I think some places I have forgot to write down this N. So just write down this N. So this is the dead polymer. So here your first LAQ will be over. First LAQ will be over. Now second LAQ will be there on the second part, that is called as the condensation polymerization. Till now, they have not asked directly the condensation polymerization. Most of the time, they are asking you write down the preparation properties and applications of the some engineering polymer. In that, three different types of polymers they have studied. First one is the plastic, second one is the rubber, and third one is the fiber. In plastic, we are having three examples. In rubber, again, we are having three examples. But in fiber, we are having only one example. Shahnawaz, last time you asked me this question, madam, we are not getting the answer for the nylon 66. Here you are having the answer for nylon 66. Already I have written here, that is the reason. Afterwards, I have not repeated. Maybe you people will get confused. So if they will ask for the nylon 66, you have to write down this one. What is the meaning of condensation polymerization? First of all, we have to know. In condensation polymerization, we are using the two different polymers we will use. Most of the time, whenever we are using the diacid and diols, it will form the polyesters. And in that, what will happen? We are getting some byproducts. If you see in if you see in the additional polymerization or free radical polymerization, we are not getting any byproducts. But here we are getting sometimes water, alcohols as a byproduct. So here I am taking the diacid, two acidic groups are there, that is the reason I am calling it as a diacid. Two alcoholic group is there, that is the reason I am calling it as a diol. When diacid and diols will combine, it will form the ester. So here the example is terephthalic acid. When it is reacted with the ethylene glycol, it will form polyester. Reactions are very simple. No need to write down on paper for explanation. If you see only, you can understand. H and OH. They will be replacing OH from the carbonic group and H from the alcoholic group, and it will be removed in the form of H2O. So in the same form, if they will ask for the nylon 66, you have to take the diamine with diacid. At the place of diol, we are taking here diacid. So same examples will be there. So generally, next question will be there. I will ask you, just tell me, is it compulsory to explain again that difference between the thermoplastic and thermoset polymers? And next one is the addition polymerization and condensation polymerization. Ghulam, what is your question? I don't understand. Can you repeat your question? I think I missed your question. What is your problem, Ghulam? Ghulam Mohammed. Ghulam Mohammed. Next, what is the question will be there now? Generally, they will ask explain preparation, properties, and applications of. They will give one, they will give two. Okay, they will give one example, or they will give two. If you remember, total seven preparations we have seen in this chapter so far. Okay, in this chapter so far, we have seen the total seven preparations. This part is divided into two parts. First one, they will ask FAQ as well as LAQ. If they are asking FAQ, they will ask only one preparation. And if they are asking an LAQ, they will combine the two answers. Okay. Quiz I will explain at the last. Last 15 minutes we will discuss the quiz. Okay. Just concentrate on the explanation. So this will be come for two. In that you are having the two different types of questions. So now I think you understand. If they are asking for the short or FAQ also, you have to write down preparation, properties and application. And if they are asking for the LAQ also, you have to write down preparation, properties, and application. What is the only difference is there? The simple difference is only in LAQ they will ask two. In LAQ they will ask combinedly two preparations. Two preparations will be there. Suppose first question is given to you. What is the question is given in question bank? If you remember, explain preparation, properties, and application of bakelite, Kevlar, Buna S, butyl rubber. If you remember my question. Okay, so we'll see now one by one. In examination, you have to write down the reactions. At least you have to write down two to three properties and two to three uses. Or sometimes depending on the marks you have to increase or decrease. मैडम बोले थे दोइच लिखना इससे हम दोइच लिखे थे don't tell like that. Okay, so depending on your marks in the external and in internal examination you have to extend or you have to reduce your answer. So now first one we are going for the preparation, properties and uses of polyvinyl chloride. Polyvinyl chloride, it is a very simple preparation. You have to write down the statement, reaction and product. What is the statement is given? When free radical chain polymerization of vinyl chloride is going on in presence of benzoyl peroxide as an initiator, it will form polyvinyl chloride. See how simple is that? Polymerization. Which polymerization? Free radical chain polymerization of vinyl chloride in presence of benzoyl peroxide or hydrogen peroxide. It will give polyvinyl chloride. See here, vinyl chloride. What is the formula for vinyl chloride? CH2 double bond CH in presence of benzyl peroxide. Here I have written the temperature also 30 to 80 degrees and I am getting the product polyvinyl chloride. In general, we are calling it as a PVC. We are calling it as a PVC. Generally, vinyl chloride we are not getting directly, so it can be prepared by acetylene. When acetylene is reacted with the HCl at the temperature 60 to 80 and in presence of metal oxide, it will form vinyl chloride. Simple. It is very simple now. Just you have to write that. Then here, after writing the reaction, you have to write down the properties. I have given so many properties. You have to at least remember 4 to 6. Then in examination, you can recall at least 2 to 3. So what is the first property is there? PVC is a colorless, non-inflammable and chemically inert powder. I think this statement is clear. No need for the explanation. Then again, PVC has a specific gravity 1.33 and the melting point of PVC is 148 degrees Celsius. That is the reason we are using everywhere PVC pipes. You know where we are using the PVC pipes? Because highly unreacted with the chemicals and it is not catching the fire also. Then the third property, PVC is resistance to atmospheric conditions, means it is not having any effect of the atmospheric condition. For example, oxygen, carbon dioxide and moisture. In the previous class only on Saturday I told you if any metal is coming in contact with oxygen or moisture then corrosion will be takes place. So here what will happen? It is not having any effect of the oxygen and moisture. So we can replace our metallic pipes with the PVC pipe. Then fourth property, PVC is not stable to heat and ultra radiation, where we are having the more temperature than 148 degrees Celsius. At that place, we cannot be use the PVC pipes. The next one we are having the engineering applications. Here, if we are treating our PVC with a plasticizer, the properties and uses will be changed. And if we are using the unplasticized PVC, then properties are changed. So if suppose firstly I will treat my PVC with the plasticizer, then I'm calling it as a plasticized PVC. What is the property or what is the applications are there? It is used for the electrical insulations. It is used for the electrical insulations. It is used in injection, molding articles, handles, radio, telephone, chemical containers, and its foam is used in the building cameras and aircraft. Building cameras and aircraft. So which PVC? This is a plasticized PVC. If unplasticized PVC is there, it can be used for the making of safety helmet. It is used for the making of safety helmets, then refrigerator components, tires, cycles, motorcycles, and mudguards. These are the applications. Clear? Till here it's clear? And Seema, this time your attendance will be affected. Okay? If you will not present here, then it is very difficult for you to write down your lab examination. Here. Telephone components. Zaman, you read your notes ma first of all. You are not present and now you are asking me questions. First of all, you have to see my previous videos. Here the revision classes are going on, so we are going very fast. For the preparation of telephone components, it is written in the third line. And inform to your friends now. If this is the way is there, definitely I will fail you in the lab exam. Depending on your attendance, I will give the marks. Now, this is the first preparation is over. Now next we are having the bakelite. Bakelite, it is a general name of resin. The chemical name of this resin is the phenol formaldehyde. This is a one more example of plastic. This is belonging to the branch plastics only. Bakelite can be prepared in three different stages. Directly, bakelite cannot be prepared. Okay, so generally when polymerization of phenol and formaldehyde is carried out, as a final product we are getting the bakelite. This one we cannot be complete in one step. That is the reason three stages will be there. One by one we are getting the three different products and finally we will form the phenol formaldehyde. Generally here we are using the two different types of monomer, and we are using some acid and alkali as a catalyst, and this reaction will be called as a condensation polymerization. Condensation polymerization. Till here it's clear? My voice is clear or last time some problem is there? Voice clear? Video is clear to everyone? Okay, thank you, mom. So now we'll go for the next. We are just started the bakelite. Okay, in bakelite, just now I told you here we are using the two different types of monomer. The students, those who came first time, for them I am repeating here. So just concentrate. For the old student, it is the repetition. For new students, for them, it's a fresh start. So now here we are seeing the question is there. Explain preparation, properties, and applications of bakelite. So in preparation, properties, and application of bakelite, first of all, I will tell you this reaction is condensation polymerization. This reaction is condensation polymerization or step polymerization. Step polymerization. In this reaction, we are using the two different types of monomer. One is phenol and second one is the formaldehyde. For taking place this reaction, we are using some catalyst, some acid or alkali. This reaction will be completed in three different stages. So what is the first stage is there? It's very simple. When phenol is reacting with formaldehyde in presence of acid or alkali, it will form mono, di and trimethyloyl phenols. What will the reaction? When C phenol is there and formaldehyde is there, when both will be reacting together in presence of alkali or acid, it will form the three different products. What is the first one? Monomethyloyl phenol. Second one is the dimethyloyl phenol, and the third one is the trimethyloyl phenol. The one, two, three, these three different products will be formed, and these three different products will be formed. It is totally based on the ratio of the phenol formaldehyde. How much phenol and formaldehyde we are taking, depending on that one, we will get the different types of product. Suppose in the first case, I will take phenol and formaldehyde in the ratio 1 is to 1. What is the meaning of 1 is to 1? I will take 50% of phenol and 50% of formaldehyde, or I will take 50 ml of phenol and 50 ml of formaldehyde. Both the percentage or both ml are same. That is the we are calling it as a 1 is to 1 ratio, or out of 100, 50% is phenol and 50% is formaldehyde. When we are taking these two, phenol and formaldehyde, 1 is to 1 ratio, we will get monomethyloyl phenol. We are getting the monomethyloyl phenol. Why we are calling it mono? Mono means one. Methyloyl means this CH2OH group. This group is called as methyloyl group. Okay, CH2OH group. This is methyl oil. And remaining ring, benzene ring with hydroxy group, we are calling it as a phenol. So what is the name of the compound? Monomethyloyl phenol. Monomethyloyl phenol. And if you are having any doubt or you are having some problem to show these three bonds, at the place of these three bonds, only if you are drawing this circle inside, this is also okay, ma. But you have to draw the circle, or maybe you have to draw these bonds. So anyone you have to draw, ma, that is your wish. Okay. So I will erase this one. Now next one, mono means one. Yes, Ghulam, correct. Mono means 1. So next time what I will do, I will change the ratio. If suppose I am taking the phenol and formaldehyde ratio as 1 is to 2. So what will happen? I will get the second type of product. There we are calling it as a dimethyl phenol. Why we are calling it as a dimethyl? Because two methyl groups are there. See, on 1 and 4th position, we are having the two methyl groups. That is the reason I am calling this compound as a dimethyl phenol. I am calling it as a dimethyl phenol. Now again here if we want to convert in terms of ml, here I am taking 25 ml of phenol and 50 ml of formaldehyde. Then third, what I will do in the third case, I will change the percentage again 1 is to 3. If you will see every time I am changing the percentage of formaldehyde, my phenol is same. So 1 is to 3. If I am taking this ratio, then I am getting the trimethyl phenol, means I am getting the 3 methyl group CH2OH. Again I will repeat, CH2OH is a methyl group. So here at the 1, 3 and 6th position. Okay, फर्स्ट, थर्ड एंड फिफ्थ अगर यहाँ से काउंट कर रहे हो आप लोग, so first, third and fifth alternate we are getting the methyl groups are attached, so I am getting the trimethyl phenol. Here I am taking suppose 25 ml of phenol and 75% of formaldehyde. What is the formula of formaldehyde? I want the answer from my students. Now I will not tell you. The first stage is over. In the first stage, depending on the percentage of phenol and formaldehyde, you will got three different products. Three different products. And it is very difficult to create only monomethyl phenol, or only we have to form the di, or only we have to form the trimethyl phenol. That is the reason whatever product is there in the first step we are getting in the mixture. So in the second stage what I will do, I will combine the monomethyl, di or bimethyl and trimethyl. Okay, trimethyl, and I will get two different types of resins. I will get two different types of resin, stage A resin or A stage resin and B stage resin. So what will happen here? Condensation of the methyl group will be going on. Suppose if condensation CH2OH, hola, CH2OH, methyl group, not CH2O. This is a complete group will be there now. That is the reason we are calling it as a mono one. Don't count carbon is one, hydrogen is two, oxygen is one more three, means three, four, five, six, seven. No, don't count like this. That is a complete group is there. CH2OH is a one group. That is a functional group is there. Okay, that is the reason we are calling it as a mono. Nice question, Mohammed. Any doubt? Ask me. So now here. So what will happen? The mono and mono di and trimethyl phenol will be combined and they will give the two different types of resins. We are calling it as A stage resin and B stage resin. If two here condensation will be going on, means water molecules will be removed. So what will happen in the first case? Methyl phenol methyl phenol is there. So this monomethyl phenol, out of this one, this OH will be combined with the this H. Okay, and this one will be removed in the form of water molecule, and we will get this type of compound. So we are calling it as a stage resin. So here in the one methyl phenol, one CH2OH and another hydrogen from the benzene ring will be reacted. Suppose in the another case, both the methyl groups are reacting together. At the time, this type of structure or this type of ether linkage will be there. This is called as ether linkage, CH2O, CH2. This type of structure we are seeing, so we are calling it as a B stage resin. So two different types of products we are getting. The third stage is very simple. I, only the combination Combination of A stage resin with the B stage resin, we will form a cross-linking compound. That final product we are calling it as a dicolite. See here, I have taken the A stage resin. Here our B stage resin is there. When both will be combined, we are getting our final product. This is the dicolite is there. Only by seeing reaction will not be understandable. After completion of the class, you are having 3 hours. After in that 1 hour, you have to practice that reactions. If any doubts are there, you have to ask me. Madam, just now you have explained this point is not clear. Then I will give you the answer on WhatsApp. Okay. So here preparation of bakelite is over. And remember, this question every time they are asking. Every time they are asking this. Preparation properties and engineering applications of bakelite. So you have to practice this. It will come for 5 months. Compulsory question. Then properties. I think after reading you can understand the properties. So I will not waste your time. Here some properties I have written. Here engineering applications are given. Okay. Now next we are going for the Kevlar. Kevlar is again one of the example. So here then 1,4-diaminobenzene react with the terephthalic acid dichloride, or what is the another name? Benzene 1,4-dicarbonyl chloride. If you remember the reactants, products are very easy. Kevlar, very simple. You have to take para-aminoaniline or 1,4-diaminobenzene is reacting with the terephthalic acid dichloride. It will form this compound. Means how it will be there? The hydrogen from the this one, this hydrogen from the amino group, and this Cl will be removed, HCl, and one more 2n minus 1 H2O will be there. Water molecule is also removed, and you are getting this type of product, and we are calling it as a Kevlar. We are calling it as a Kevlar. Simple para-amino aniline combining with the terephthalic acid dichloride. Clear? Here some properties are given. Now plastics are over. Any doubt till here? I'm just waiting for your answer, ma'am. Tell me. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So now we are going for the next topic, rubber. The question is same. Preparation, properties and applications of anyone they have given. So here Buna S is given. What is the next one? Buna S. Buna S is also called as a styrene butadiene rubber. Okay. In that Buna S, Bu stands for butadiene, Na stands for sodium metal, and S stands for styrene. Very simple reaction is there. Buna is a copolymer of butadiene and styrene. The percentage is given 75 to 25%. The polymerization is carried out at 50 degrees Celsius in presence of peroxide as a catalyst. When butadiene is reacting with the styrene in presence of peroxide as a catalyst, it will give Buna S. Very simple reaction is there. You just see reaction. What will happen? This bond will be break down. This bond also break down. So this bond is shifting to here. So at the place of this single bond, we are getting double bond, and here we are getting the single bond. And this CH2 will attach with this carbon. That is the reason we are getting this type of product. We are calling it as a Buna S. This is a styrene rubber. Preparations are very simple, ma. That is your work to practice only. Very simple. You have to remember the monomer. Here we are using the two monomers, styrene and butadiene. Which butadiene we are using? 1,3-butadiene. Why we are calling it as a butadiene? But means 4 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons there. Diene means two double bonds. So here one double bond and here is one double bond. And what is the position? That is 1, 3. That is the reason we are calling it as a 1,3-butadiene. I don't think reactions can be explained again and again. I will post you at a previous lecture also. You just go through that video. You will easily understand now. Now here properties are there. Properties, applications are also given. Then butyl rubber is given. Preparation properties, their limitation is also given to you. See, when I am scanning, one page is shifted. After that Buna S, here are some properties and applications are given. Now you just remember this one. One page, only one page problem is there. Just now we have seen the Buna S now. Here are the applications. By mistake, one paper, one paper mistake is there only. Okay. Then afterwards we are having the butyl rubber. So when isobutene is reacting with the isoprene, we will get the butyl rubber. Where is the reaction is there? Just number it now. Number it. Then you will understand. This is here. Okay. This is here. Isobutene, isoprene. We are getting the butyl rubber. If you have any problem, again I will send this notes. No issue. Here the properties are given. Then you just leave this page, and now you are having the applications of butyl rubber. Okay. Then you are having the silicon rubber. In silicon rubber, two methods are given. First method, if you are starting from the ethylene, when ethylene is polymerized with the directly, you are not getting the silicon rubber. So what is the statement is there? By the action of ethylene on alkyl dihydrosilicon. This is alkyl dihydrosilicon. This is the dihydrosilicon followed by the hydrolysis, condensation, polymerization produces silicon rubber. I will explain you in simple words. Your doubt is clear that I told you one page is shifted down. The doubt is clear. Aman, Shahnawaz, Ghulam Mohammed. Okay, don't worry ma, I will send these notes once again. Okay, ओनली वन पेज एक पेज की पोजीशन थोड़ी सी वो हो गई है सिलिकॉन बिना एस के एप्लीकेशंस की जगह ब्यूटाइल रबर आ गया है एक पेज सिर्फ रिवर्स में लग गया था वो तो आई विल सेंड दिस नोट्स वंस अगेन ना डोंट वरी ओके so at least you just concentrate on the next question silicon rubber silicon rubber in that we are having the two methods. So just now we are seeing the method first method. What is the first method? When ethylene is reacting with the dihydrosilicon. Dihydro silicon, it will form dialkyl dichlorosilicon. After the hydrolysis of this one, we are getting the dihydroxy diethylene silicon. When this polymerization of this monomer is carried out, we will get a new type of rubber or polymer that we are calling it as a silicon rubber. Silicon rubber. Then second method is there by using the Grignard reagent. When Grignard reagent means RMgX, R is alkyl group, X is halide. So when Grignard reagent is reacting with the silicon tetrachloride, after the hydrolysis and polymerization, we will get the silicons or silicon rubber. Now is it clear here? See, RMgX is there. It is reacting with the SiCl4. It is silicon tetrachloride. Then we'll get two chlorine will be replaced with those two methyl groups. So we'll get CH3 taken twice, SiCl2. When hydrolysis is there, then this chlorine will be replaced with the hydroxy group. And we are getting this structure dihydroxy dimethyl silicon. When the dihydroxy dimethyl silicon will be polymerized, we will get the silicon rubber. Here, preparation and properties and uses are given. Properties and uses are given. Conducting polymers are there and biodegradable polymers are there. So here your chapter is over. So one question is asked by Zaman. He wants the explanation of classification and no, sorry, not classification. I think differentiation point. So see Zaman, for you only, I will explain here. On the page, it is clearly written that differentiation between the addition polymerization or chain polymerization and step polymerization. See, all points are here. So after explaining this one, our class will be over and I will explain regarding the exam. So don't go anywhere. Just I will take only 5 minutes for the explanation of this one. So Zaman, Shahnawaz, everyone concentrate now. Chain polymerization. First of all, chain polymerization is also called as addition polymerization. Okay, the name are synonyms to each other. Anyone will be asked. Chain polymerization is also called as addition polymerization, and step polymerization is also called as condensation polymerization. Wherever I am using the word step, we have to understand it is a condensation. Wherever I am using the condensation means it is a step polymerization. Okay, so we'll see one by the differentiation point. First one, functionality. In the starting, I have explained you what is the functionality monomer. The functionality of the monomer is double bond, that is which we are calling it as a bifunctional. In chain polymerization, whatever monomer we are using, it is bifunctional. Clear? It is bifunctional. If you are going for the step polymerization, functionality will be varies. Maybe it is a bifunctional, maybe it is a trifunctional, or maybe it is a polyfunctional, or sometimes we are using a particular types of groups. For example, hydroxy group will be there, carboxylic group will be there, amino will be there, and esters will be there. If you remember, in bakelite, we are having the aldehyde group as well as alcohol is also there. If you see in nylon, we are having the amino groups. So all these are the examples of step polymerization. And in chain polymerization, we have seen PVC, polyvinyl chloride, polyethylene. These are the example of addition polymerization. What is the second one? The polymerization takes place by self-addition of monomer. Means in this, the monomer, one monomer is attaching with the second, second is attaching with the third, third is attaching with the fourth one. Okay. So only additions will be there. One is coming and second, third, fourth, fifth. Number of monomers is adding together and we will get a new type of polymer. But here the polymerization is due to the slow stepwise stepwise condensation of the functional group. What is the third one? The molecular weight of the polymer is the sum of molecular weights of monomer. अंडरस्टैंड क्या बोल रहा है थर्ड पॉइंट में कि जो पॉलीमर का मॉलिक्यूलर वेट है और जो मोनोमर का मॉलिक्यूलर वेट रहता है वो क्या रहता है सिर्फ एग्जैक्ट मल्टीपल रहता है इसमें प्लस माइनस नहीं होता है क्योंकि कोई भी बाय प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म नहीं हो रहा है फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ वन मोनोमर मॉलिक्यूलर वेट इज 12 and if I'm taking the 10 monomer then what is the molecular weight 120. That is the reason I'm writing it is a sum of or exact multiple of the number of monomers. जितने monomers लेंगे हम लोग उतना ही उसका क्या रहेगा molecular weight रहेगा. But in case of step polymerization or condensation, some byproducts will be formed. Some molecules are removing. That is the reason we will not get the exact molecular weight. Sometimes it is a little bit less than the multiple. The next one, here byproducts will not be formed. In chain or addition polymerization, byproducts will not be formed. We have seen so many examples till now. Byproducts are not forming. Here byproducts are formed. Next one, the mechanism is rapid. Very fast mechanism is there. The mechanism is slow. The mechanism is slow. Then here, the mechanism is highly exothermic. The mechanism is highly exothermic. It, here, it is not exothermic. In addition polymerization, initiators are required to start the reaction. Here we will have catalyst. Initiator is not required, but we want some catalyst. The example is given polyethylene and bakelite. So 1 minute we will discuss our bit questions. Now just give me 1 minute to show you that part also. So now it is clear for everyone. The polymer is over. Why catalyst nahi ma? In some reactions we require that one. What is the use of catalyst to alter the rate of reaction? Catalyst will not take part in the reaction. At the end we will get the same catalyst as it is, but initiator will be take part. At the end we are not getting the same initiator as it is. Okay, now we are going for the quiz. See here, total 20 questions are there. In the next, our last class will be there. In that last class, I will give you 4 sets. In that 4 sets, depending on the roll number, everyone, I will give you this link for the roll number 1, 2, 3. This link for the 4, 5, 6. Like that, I will distribute the link. Each paper will contain only 5 bits. Each paper will contain 5 bits. Okay, sorry. Some. So once again, sorry for disturbance. Now come to the quiz mark. On 29th of this month, I am taking your exam. Same time I will come 9:30. Uh, I will. give you some link. If you will click on that link, you have to write down your roll number, your name, your branch. After that, what you have to do, you have to start the solving, because that link is active for only 10 minutes. So if the people will come late, I will not help them. So sharp timing is there. Sharp 9:30, I will start that exam. So what you have to do after coming, you have to just click on that link. It will be sent to your groups. Depending on that group, you have to solve that one. Only 5 questions are there. In that, what you have to write down? First of all, you have to write down your roll number, your name, your branch, and your department means FNH department. First of all, you have to fill and you have to write down that multiple choice answers, and you have to submit in within 10 minutes. Only 5 questions are given to you. So understand, exam pattern is understand, or any doubt? Then first one is given, the salt responsible for temporary hardness. So you just remember the water chemistry. The salts which can be easily, Zaman, don't ask me these silly questions now. Marks, where is the that one? Whatever we are explaining you, just concentrate on that one. That is not part of your thing. Okay, how many marks are there? How many things are there? You just concentrate on your exam. Mark everything, it will be discussed after college will be reopened. पढ़ाई पे ध्यान दीजिए, मार्क्स पे अभी ध्यान मत दीजिए. Yeah, we have to just choose. You have to just choose the correct answer. Tick it. If you will ask this type of questions, other students will be disturbed. I told you, 100 times. If you people are having any doubt, you call me. Anytime you can call me. Anytime you can chat me on WhatsApp. I told you कि आपको प्रॉब्लम है पर्सनल, आप पर्सनली बात करिए. एक्सप्लेनेशन के टाइम में अगर आप ये पूछेंगे क्वेश्चन, तो आपका टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है. So first question is given, the salts responsible for temporary hardness. Generally carbonate and bicarbonate salts are responsible for temporary hardness. So here I have written calcium carbonate and magnesium sulfate. Okay, calcium carbonate is a temporary salt, but magnesium sulfate is not temporary salt. That is the reason bit first option is not correct. Second one, again I have taken the calcium carbonate. Okay, carbonates are temporary hardness, but chloride is not at all. That is the reason second option is also not correct. Then what is the third option is given? Calcium carbonate and magnesium bicarbonate. So we know the carbonates and bicarbonate. That is the reason the third option is correct, and that is the reason I have bold it. I have underlined and I have bold the correct answer. So what is the first? The salts responsible for temporary hardness are calcium carbonate and magnesium bicarbonate. Clear? First answer clear. Then second one. Anion exchanger resin is regenerated. Regeneration of an and cation exchanger resin. If you remember the ion exchange process in the purification of water, last paragraph is there. In that we are explaining how to regenerate the resins. In that we are using, if cation exchanger resins are there, it can be regenerated by acid. And if the anion exchanger resins are there, we are regenerating it by alkali. So here HCl is the acid, NaOH is the alkali, and KCl is a salt. So what is the answer? Sodium hydroxide is the correct answer. Okay. Then third question. If P is equal to 0, कहाँ का है ये क्वेश्चन? Have you remember? आया आपके ध्यान में कि कहाँ से लिया है मैम ने ये? If P equal to 0, कहाँ पढ़ा है आपने? This is the question from the alkalinity. There we have shown P and M. P is stands for the end point with respect to the phenolphthalein indicator, and capital M stands for the methyl orange indicator endpoint. Remember ma? क्या हो गया है, सब चले गए? So there on the last page we have written 5 cases we have written. If P equal to M, if P equal to half of M, if P is less than half of M, if P is greater than half of M, and last one is that P if is equal to 0. 5 cases I have explained there. So in that, if P equal to 0, water causes that type of alkalinity, means which ions are there? Hydroxy, carbonate, bicarbonate. If P equal to 0, in our water only bicarbonate type of alkalinity will be there. So the correct answer is bicarbonate. Clear? Now the fourth one. What is the fourth one is given? Dash equivalent is used to express hardness of water. This part I have explained in college. If you remember that we are converting the all the type of hardness in terms of calcium carbonate, and I have given two reasons to you also. First of all, the molecular weight of calcium carbonate is 100, so it is very easy to calculate. Yeah, and second, this is the temporary hardness, easily we can separate it. These two reasons are there. That is the reason most of the time or almost all, whatever our hardness is there, we can convert it in terms of calcium carbonate equivalent. So what is the question is there? Again I will repeat. Dash equivalent is used to express hardness of water. So calcium carbonate equivalent is used to express hardness of water. Clear? Then next one. Dash form of EDTA is used in complexometric titration. EDTA method का first paragraph. There we have written EDTA is insoluble in water. That is the reason bi or disodium salt of EDTA is used. So what is the answer? Tell me my answer. Why you are not giving answer? Everything I am explaining now. Give me answer. Very simple answers are there. You have to give me answer by seeing. I think nobody is online. Only you have entered and you went off. Dash form of EDTA is used in complexometric titration. Which form? And what is the reason? Don't give me attendance. I'm not asking you attendance. I'm asking the answer. I want answer B. No, like that you have to tell me. Reason is also there. Sumer Arfan. Very good, mom. Answer is B. What is the reason? Because EDTA is simple EDTA. If you are taking it is insoluble. That is the reason we are taking the di or bisodium salt of EDTA. Okay. The next one, the sixth one, during wet corrosion. Which part will go oxidation? What is no ma'am? Sohel? Sixth option. Now we are going for the sixth bit. During wet corrosion, which part is undergoing oxidation? You have to remember every time whenever oxidation will be there, only anodic part will undergo oxidation. Okay? Every time you are having the oxidation will be on the anodic side. If you remember, all the time, pitting corrosion also, waterline corrosion also, wherever the metal is acting as an anode, that one will undergo oxidation. Correct. All are giving the right answers. Then next question number 7. Bit number 7. Now you understand why anodic part now? Because we know on oxidation will be takes place. Electrons are removing. Then next, sorry, seventh one. Electrochemical corrosion occurs only if When electrochemical corrosion will be occur? When galvanic cell will be formed. When galvanic cell will be, when we are having three things: anode, cathode, and electrolyte. Remember? Again I will repeat for your understanding. Electrochemical corrosion occurs only when we are in the galvanic galvanic सेल। गैल्वेनिक सेल कब फॉर्म होता है? जब कहीं भी हमारे पास एनोड भी रहना, टू इलेक्ट्रोड्स रहना, वन इज एनोड वन इज कैथोड, और इलेक्ट्रोलाइट भी रहना या कंडक्टिंग मीडियम रहना। हियर कंडक्टिंग मीडियम इज लिक्विड मीडियम इन कॉन्टैक्ट विथ मेटल। आंसर इज करेक्ट। सेवेंथ वन। Answer is given, but you have to understand the reasons behind it now. I think the reasons, yeah, liquid medium, option C is correct. Okay, now next one. The coating of zinc on iron is called galvanizing, tinning, or A and B. Answer is, what is the answer? The answer. No, not. That is not correct. Search this answer, okay? B is not, is wrong. Wrong. B is wrong. You have to search this answer and you have to answer me in WhatsApp. Okay? You have to answer me. I will not give the answer of work. Okay? Now next one. Ninth one. You will say A, B, C. Maybe anyone will be correct. No, Aman, I will not give you answer now. No, sorry. You have to search on Google or you have to read all the notes. Definitely answer. This is your work now. No, B is wrong. I am telling you, B is wrong. Now ninth one. The rate of corrosion is increasing at what? uh, Low temperature, high temperature, moderate temperature. Don't see this ma. This is not correct. Whatever answer is given, that is not correct. You have to use your brain. Yesterday we have explained. Okay? Yesterday we have explained. If the temperature is increasing or decreasing, what will happen? Yeah, option A. Now next one. We are going for the next. 10th. Bit number 10. In the coating of ship hulls, dash cathodic protection is used. Sacrificial or impressed current. Both the methods will be used. So option 10 is for bit number 10, option C is correct. Now we are on 10th. Yeah, correct, Sohail. Now, the polymer with random arrangement of functional group on carbon backbone is dash atactic, syndotactic, or isotactic. Today only we have seen Today only we have seen these definitions, classification of polymer based on the 7 criteria. Sumit, don't think. You have to answer me correct in WhatsApp. Then I will tell you the answer of those. Or otherwise in exam also you have to write them wrong. That will be your wish. So now we are on bit number 11. The polymer with random arrangement of functional group on carbon backbone is atactic. Answer A is correct. The next one. The monomer used in bakelite are benzol formaldehyde, phenol formaldehyde, or phenol acetaldehyde. Which just now we have seen the preparation properties and application of bakelite. Which monomer we have used? Phenol and phenol and acetaldehyde or formaldehyde. Answers are wrong. Okay, don't see there. You just think I'm explaining you everything. What happened? Zaman, Shanawaz, only Sumer, Arsalan, those two are giving the answer. Hassan, कहाँ गए? Aman, Shahnawaz, give me answers fast. In Bakelite, which monomer we are using? Just explain you. Very good. Phenol and formaldehyde. Very good, Shahnawaz. 3 cheers for you. Yeah. Clear for everyone? Just now we have phenol formaldehyde. I'll answer now. You have to find out Ghulam. Yeah, Zaman. Correct. Correct answer. Now, next one. 13th. Which among the following is a biodegradable polymer? Which among the following is a biodegradable polymer? Nylon 66, bakelite, sorry, PVC, bakelite. Yeah. Tell me next one. The among which among the following is a biodegradable polymer? So what is PVC? PVC is a plastic. Bakelite again it is a plastic. PLA that is polylactic acid. Polylactic acid is an example of biodegradable polymer. Yeah, correct. PLA. Now, next one. 14. Hassan. Good. Go ahead. The 14th one. Okay. Which among the following is thermosetting plastic? Nylon 66, bakelite, Kevlar. Polylactic acid. Full form of PLA is polylactic acid. Polylactic acid. Yeah, good Ola. Now, next one. Which among the following is a thermosetting plastic? First of all, nylon is the example of फाइबर वो तो हो नहीं सकता क्योंकि उसने प्लास्टिक पूछा. देन बैकेलाइट एंड केवलार में ओके क्लियर. 13th no, 13 is the not green chemistry ma, it is came from the polymer last bit. B is correct ma. Shahnawaz, 13 is not from green chemistry, it is from the unit number 3 only, polymers. Last part, biodegradable polymer. Polylactic acid. We have seen the reactions also. Then next one. अरे भाई 14 अभी 15 पढ़ा ही नहीं मैम ने. You are giving the answer. Dash rubber is vulcanized as natural rubber. Dash rubber is vulcanized as natural rubber. Answer is, what is the answer for 15th? 15th. Now we are at 15th. Tell me for 15th. Is answer A. Correct. B now S. Then 16. Just now we have completed in detail functionality of trimethyl phenol E. For your understand, I have given the structure also. For your understanding only, I have structure. So Buna S. Correct. Shahs, Arsalan, Hassan, Ghulam Muhammad. Correct, ma'am. For everyone, correct. Correct answer. Then now we are going for the 16th functionality of trimethylyl phenol. Functionality of trimethylyl phenol. 136. How many methyl phenol? Phenol. That is the reason functionality of the trimethylyl phenol is 3. Now 17. Which among the following is having the good the fifth unit? This is from the green chemistry composites. Aman corrected. Now tell me which among the following is having good strength? We are going for the bit number. Following is having good strength. You have to give me a reason. Answer is written there. Reason. Which among the following is having good strength? Matrix phase, reinforced phase, or composite? You have to know the answer. You have to know the reason behind it. Why you are telling it's three? Why you are telling it's bakelite? Why you are telling it's a composite? What is the reason? अगर आपको रीजन पता होगे तो आंसर्स याद रहेंगे. रट्टा मारने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. If you are not having the logic behind it, then you have to rectify. That is a waste of time. Now tell me, which among the following is having good strength? Matrix phase, reinforced phase, composite. With reason I want. क्या बात है, सब चले गए अभी आंसर देने के लिए. शाहनवाज, अमान, सोहेल, जमान, गुलाम मोहम्मद, अरसलान. Where are you? If you don't know, then you have to tell me. I will give the answer. Tell me. Nobody is composites now. Answer I know, Aman. I, I know the answer. Answer is already given to you. I want the reason. What is the reason? Are having good strength. Thinking. How much time at the mark? Think. No issue. Yeah, I'm asking the reason. That answer, Shano. I want reason. Tell me the reason. No one knows the answer. Very bad. Now see, matrix phase. We know to impart the tell me reason I want. Thinking. Okay, now see, I will give you answer. Matrix space is not having that much strength to impart the strength to give the particular properties. We are adding the reinforcing reagent that is called as the reinforced space. If you will compare this one having the small strength, if you will compare it will giving the somewhat strength. But when both will combine, this combine is a composite. Now understand option C is correct. Okay. Now we are going for the 18 is very strict, nothing is there. The synthesis is transesterification or condensation. Transesterification, esterification or condensation. Answer is transesterification. The name of the reaction is there. You can't change it. You can't say. Now we are going for the then are the strength and shear properties. There is more having strength as compared to the matrix and reinforcing phase. Now 18 is okay. My voice is clear. Actually outside some announcement is going on. Shanawaz, correct. Okay. Now we are going for the 19th one. Dash fuel is having more viscosity. If in biodiesel you remember, there I have explained you, we cannot use the biodiesel directly. We have to use in the combination form because is a Zaman something is going on. Concentrate now. What is going on? Now it's clear. Actually, I can't help it. Some announcement from the GHMC. That is the reason only my voice is breaking. Now voice is clear. Shanawaz, Zaman. Just concentrate only two bits. Two more bits are there. I will repeat. Dash fuel is having more viscosity. Option is given kerosene, biodiesel and diesel. In the fifth unit, when we are explaining about the biodiesel, I told you biodiesel having that is the reason directly we are not using biodiesel completely. We are using in combining that is the what is the answer? Vegetable oil or some animal fats will be there. So now last one, concrete is an example of which composite? कौन सा composite है? Matrix resins है, fiber reinforced composite or particle reinforcing composite. You just think on that answer. If you read the notes of unit number 5, all answer you will get from there. I have not changed anything. Directly I have now simultaneously if you are having any doubts in which you ask me about. Viscosity means thickness, thickness, thickness of the liquid. attendance or explanation is over. In next class, remaining 3 units I will explain. Simultaneously, we will go for the exam also. That no ma, you just I will clear you. Now time is maybe there. But just went to Azmat and Sharif. They are absent. Date of examination 29th of April. So you read all these 20 bits, practice it, any 5 will become. First give the attendance and leave the group, no problem if you are leaving also. Welcome now. If you are having any doubt, ask me. During Ramadan, it is only the matter of 1 hour. You are very lucky na, Sohail. So for Taraweeh outside, then you will waste your time outside. You will come late at night. You will sit late. But now you are at home only because of lockdown. So and then you have to got up after 2 and 2.5 hours, then read it and come for class. Shahnawaz. Okay, if attendance is over, you can leave now. I think your next class is there now. I'm waiting for your attendance. If it's over, uh, I will write down the numbers. You just see it. If anyone is missing, inform me. 33. Okay? Hmm. Yeah. Okay, then now I'm stopping here. I will hope if you are having any doubt, definitely you will ask me. You are having 9 days you are having in your hand. So read it nicely. Be prepared for all the one. I'm thinking I will give some multiple choice on all the units. Then it is very easy for you to study. So in next class again I will type some questions for you and their answers also. So it will helpful. Number I have added now 28. So that's but on 29th inform, be there on time, active for only 10 minutes. After 10 minutes it will not work. Okay, चलिए अल्लाह हाफिज. On WhatsApp I will